For more than 60 years, Brits have been sold the dream of a new paradise life in Australia. And in Brisbane and the Gold Coast, more than 85,000 were born in the UK. They're drawn to its immaculate beaches, picturesque rainforest, and the captivating native wildlife. This time, English surf pro Sarah thinks she's found paradise.
Australia is kind of the world's mecca of surfing, and it's the only thing that I want to do right now, really.
Animal volunteer Fred is inspired by the wildlife.
It's such a big move to come over here. You can almost take on the world after that.
And distillery boss Michael is all shook up as his business takes a new twist.
Drink up and have fun. Good, cheers. Thank you.
The Gold Coast of Australia has over 30 miles of unspoilt beaches with some of the best surfing breaks in the world. Riding the waves is an Aussie obsession, and there are 2.5 million recreational surfers. For Dorset girl Sarah, access to these exhilarating waves is the key to Australia's appeal.
Australia is kind of the world's mecca of surfing, and some people say it's just like dancing but on water. You don't really think about anything else when you're surfing, I guess. It's just you and the ocean, and that's all that matters. It's where you get your peace, so that's where I get my peace. I mean, there's so many surfers in Australia, it's just unbelievable, really. Everyone's got something to do with surfing, everyone knows someone who surfs, everyone's got a family member who surfs.
Sarah's family first moved to Australia when she was 6, and aside from short periods back in the UK, she grew up here, which allowed her to practice surfing every day. Now she's turned her passion into a career.
I've been surfing for about 6 years on the World Qualifying Series. I represented Great Britain in the ISA World Games in Peru last year, and I'm the current British and English champion.
Sarah's been working her way through the pro surfing ranks since she was a teenager, and she's always dreamed of competing in the Premier League of Surfing, the ASP World Tour. Today is the opening competition of the season on this elite tour, taking place at the Gold Coast's legendary Snapper Rocks.
I'd love to be out there. That's, it's been an amazing experience to have, and that's what you aim for. But right now, for me, to get on tour would be amazing, and more so because it has been a dream of mine since I was little.
2011 champ Kelly Slater.
Surfing, it's my job, and it's what my passion is, and it's the only thing that I want to do right now, really.
Around 30 miles from the suntans and surfers on the coast is the Tambourine Mountain Distillery, a family business that British expat Michael Ward has built up over nearly 20 years.
Look at that colour. It's natural colour.
The distillery specialises in organic spirits and liqueurs, and hundreds of tourists flock to the tasting room every year, where Michael enjoys taking centre stage.
It's made from wattle seed, and we've roasted the seeds. That's what we've done. That's how we've...
There's so many.
So it's totally Australian, is it? And you're from England?
Yes.
You're from England?
Yes.
I can't believe it. I cannot believe this. Where are you guys from?
From the southeast, from an area called Essex.
I was born Ipswich in Suffolk.
Oh, okay.
Silly Suffolk.
Wow.
Isn't that fantastic? You think you come all this bloody way to get away from, and crying out loud, they're all here. Bloody room of Poms, mate. How awesome is that?
Michael moved from Suffolk to Tasmania in 1964, leaving his career as a ladies' hairdresser to become a property developer. When the family moved to Tambourine Mountain, the lush surroundings inspired Michael to start a new business.
When we came here in '92, it was just a rundown avocado orchard and citrus trees. Nothing was here. All these trees here I've planted. For probably 18 months, I just worked every single day. I'd start at 5:30, 6 in the morning, and go till dark. And look what's happened. I mean, it's just everything here grows so incredibly quickly. It's just a lovely, lovely place to live. This is lemon myrtle. There's 94% citral in this leaf, which is more than in a lemon. And we've made lemon myrtle liqueur, we've made an Australian herbal liqueur with lemon myrtle in it, and we've made a lemon myrtle vodka. Fantastic. This tree is indigenous to Australia, only grows in Australia.
The distillery has won over 140 international awards, but Michael still takes an old-school approach to the business of making booze.
Wow, look at that, eh? Isn't that awesome? This is the first still that we ever made. It's a little 80-litre copper pot still, which is fantastic. And we heat it with gas, as you can see. And can you hear it all bubbling and gurgling away and farting and carrying on? Isn't that bloody brilliant? It's a cistern. I've got the little ball thing in the top to control the flow, which is fantastic. I reckon it's awesome. The steam turns to liquid, which is alcohol, and that comes out of here, straight into here.
Michael's journey from working-class Suffolk lad to celebrated Aussie distiller has required some adjustments over the years.
When I very first arrived in Australia, way long millions of years ago, it was a culture shock to start with, but it didn't take me long to chuck my long trousers off and put my shorts on. I've never ever worn long pants since. I've worn shorts all my Australian life.
You've never worn a pair of long pants?
Never
in
worn.
Australia?
No, don't wear them. Don't even have any. Certainly don't have a suit. I mean, they're women's legs, aren't they? Women be proud to own a pair of legs like that, but I don't give a bugger.
At the southern tip of the Gold Coast is the Currumbin Wildlife Sanctuary, home to one of Australia's busiest animal hospitals. It specialises in the conservation of native Aussie animals and admits over 5,000 patients every year. Sussex-born Fred Hamilton has been volunteering at the hospital as an animal ambulance driver for the past 6 months. Fred works 3 days a week, ferrying injured and sick wildlife to and from the hospital.
Another tawny frogmouth. It looks quite like an owl with a big beak.
Fred's been in Australia for 3 years and saw the move as a chance to break away from his previous career in the building trade.
Luckily, my girlfriend, she's got a full-time job and we're able to live on that. And I was able to give up my job with some understanding from Bex and follow my dreams, really. Hopefully this will lead into something bigger and better and maybe a paid job one day.
Giving up a weekly wage is not the only risk Fred has taken.
The wildlife here is a lot different to back in England, where you've just got to be a little bit more cautious about what you're doing. Everything bites out here, even the ants are nasty, so they're not like the ants back at home, they're like ants with steroids over here. So.
No animal is turned away from the hospital, however slight the ailment. Today, a flying fox with an injured shoulder has been brought in. She may look cute, but head vet Michael and his team must be extremely careful when handling her.
Flying foxes, although very rare, have the potential to carry lyssavirus, and lyssavirus is something that kills you. So the reason we wear gloves and we're very careful with them is for that reason.
This is a young flying fox that's got a fairly superficial injury over her shoulder. So we just need to give her a quick anaesthetic and clean it up a bit and a few stitches and she should be on her way again. So it's hopefully a nice, quick, simple little job, this one.
Flying foxes used to be very common in the forest areas on the Gold Coast, but over the past 40 years, building development has encroached on their habitat and they are now listed as a threatened species.
But look, she's going to do well, you know, she's in great condition, so it's, you know, it's just going to be a time thing with her, and when she's big enough and mean enough, she'll go back out into the big bad world.
Animals that have been treated at the hospital are often sent to convalesce at the homes of registered carers. Fred is delivering a tawny frogmouth, a native Australian bird recovering from a broken wing, to fellow volunteer Natasha for further rehabilitation.
Satan.
Yeah. Is this one Satan, is it?
Is this Satan? It sounds like it might be Satan.
Yeah.
Heard all about him. There was actually one of them that was nicknamed Satan, so full of attitude, but that's great when they get back out in the wild. That's what helps them survive. So
yeah, they sound quite fierce, don't they?
They do. They've actually got a bark much worse than their bite. They're quite harmless. They're gorgeous.
The tawny frogmouth is nocturnal and will be hand-fed around the clock by Natasha until it's strong enough to be reintroduced to the wild.
You always look for a better quality of life and a greater balance. So I took this opportunity when we moved over to try and follow my dreams a bit. And yeah, it's going well at the moment. Really enjoying myself.
Time will tell if Fred's gamble pays off and his dream of a full-time paid career in animal conservation comes true. The coastline is rich in marine life and is home to 80% of the population. English-born Sarah Beardmore lives and works on the beach as a professional surfer and is ranked in the top 50 international females. Her success has attracted sponsorship money, but she must cover the huge costs of travelling to competitions. And for all the thrills, spills and exotic locations, the reality of surviving as a pro in this sport is a very different story.
This is the very glamorous side of surfing. We've got some bird poo here. We're just going to get off the table. We're cleaning because we're going to get some money so we can eat this week. Last year I was working at a surf club. I've been waitressing, bar work. I think a lot of people, the media just show the lifestyle that it brings you, surfing, exotic locations. But to be honest, that's only a few weeks of the year. And yeah, in between, you obviously can't live like that forever unless you're getting paid big money.
But all the hard work is worth it for this, the thrill of riding a barrel, the ultimate surf move.
That feeling, you can't really explain it until you've kind of been in one and come out, because you're actually inside nature. All you can see is a light, and that's all you aim for, and then you come out and you're just in paradise. And that's what I enjoy doing and where I want to go with it.
Sarah will need to rack up the cleaning shifts as she has a big expense looming. In a few weeks' time, she'll travel to Newquay for the English Surf Championship, where the pressure is on to retain her title.
Done for the day.
Many expats see Australia as a land of opportunity that rewards hard work. Distillery owner Michael certainly hasn't been held back by his humble beginnings.
You know, we came from a reasonably poor background, working class background, certainly no money, no dollars. Any money that I had to work myself to 3 or 4 jobs to get some money.
But now he's thinking about his legacy, and his optimistic son Alex and daughter Sonia will keep the family business thriving.
It's funny, I think as he's gotten older, he's calmed down a lot. He's definitely mellowed in his old age. Well, he'd hate to hear me calling him old. Sometimes we call him the old man. He's like, I don't like this old man business. I'm not an old man. I'm like, well, he's certainly not a young man.
The typical person, the Aussie certainly, retirement is sitting in a chair watching TV with a beer in your hand. Crikey, I couldn't think of anything worse. That'd be terrible.
Sonia is hoping to make her mark on the business by pushing their products into the cocktail bar market. She and local cafe owner Ashley are planning a special cocktail party to launch a new joint venture.
Bit of our chilli vodka would go nice in there. See, we could serve that in a gumboot.
I'm a bit of a control freak. I haven't given it away at all. Not yet. She's got to earn it. I mean, I've built this building, I've built this building, and you know, with our own bare hands, we've created this business out of nothing, and she's not ready for that total thing yet, and she'll be the first to acknowledge that. Australia has been so good to us, and I love this place so much. There's very little class distinction and none of this up yourself like bloody England, and the weather's fantastic. It's the greatest country in the world by far. No question about it.
Former builder Fred also saw his move to Australia as a chance to explore pastures new. Today he's preparing for a favourite part of his job as an animal ambulance driver, reintroducing a well-known Aussie bird back into the wild.
Well, we've got a rainbow lorikeet to release. They're your sparrows, basically, of Australia, but a bit more colourful. A lot of the lorikeets are stunned by hitting windows or hitting a car, stuff like that.
It's important the lorikeet is taken back to the location where it was rescued, as familiar surroundings will help it feed and reconnect with other lorikeets.
Essential part of the equipment with rainbow lorikeets. They can be a bit feisty when they're back to health, so that's a good sign, actually. Usually if you find an animal that's very subdued and doesn't want to bite you, it's quite badly injured normally, so yeah, it's normally a good sign that they're biting you anyway.
The lorikeet flies straight for the nearest native blossom to forage for nectar, a favourite of this species.
Yeah, it's very satisfying. There is a lot of wildlife around in Australia, and I'm glad to be part of doing something to help. So yeah, it's a very pleasurable job, and I wouldn't swap it for the world. He's just having a bit of lunch now before he goes and joins his friends by the looks of it. But yeah, very pleasing to watch. Because it's such a big move to come over here, you can almost take on the world after that, because you've done the big step, so why not change job, why not change your career, why not change the way you're living?
Over 10,000 miles away from the Gold Coast on the south coast of England, pro surfer Sarah has travelled to take part in the English Championships. She won the title last year, and it's important she retains her crown. But sadly, the English waves aren't as predictable as those on the Gold Coast.
I came down for the English Nationals this weekend, and it's been postponed for another 2 weeks, and I'm not here for that, so it's kind of a bit deflating. Really needed to defend my title for my sponsors and for myself, and spending so much money, thousands of dollars to get to these places. I was just so upset that, you know, that's a big chunk of my budget for the year. It's just been a waste of time and money.
Despite her disappointment, Sarah still feels a tie to home.
Because I feel like Australia's given me my waves, my playground, my stepping stones to becoming who I am, but I really like representing England and Britain, and I love England. I just like the waves in Australia.
It's been a wasted trip, but Sarah's determined to keep her professional surfing dream alive, so it's back to the airport for another gruelling flight in search of the perfect wave. Up on Tambourine Mountain, it's the night of the cocktail bar opening.
Don't be bashful, just come in.
The great and the good of the mountain have been invited to sample a cocktail menu specially designed by Michael's daughter Sonia. And of course, the distillery's products are the vital ingredients.
Tonight is like the official opening of the new cocktail bar at the kitchen table. On behalf of all the freeloaders tonight, who we wish you all the very, very best, and the more successful you are, the more money we'll make, because we're supplying the booze. So that's all exciting. Drink up and have fun. Good, cheers. Thank you.
The evening has been a success, and Michael is confident the family business will be in safe hands.
When we're too old and crotchety and we can't be involved with it, although I can't ever see me not being involved with it, I'll die working because I love it. She's going to be a wonderful ambassador, and it's working really, really well.
I know he's proud, yeah. He won't tell me, but I can tell. He sort of catches one, you know, gives me a little wink or gives me a little kiss. Everyone's got a drink, everyone's eating, everyone's dressing up and looking great, so I think it's success.
How would you like to spend 14 nights in the beautiful Gold Coast of Australia? We'll be sending one lucky family of 4 off to stay in a gorgeous beachfront apartment in Surfers Paradise. You'll be sent on an exciting outback adventure, get up close and personal with the animals at the zoo, and be given £5,000 spending money. To be in with the chance of winning this trip of a lifetime, all you have to do is answer the following question. What is the famous landmark in Sydney? Is it A, the Eiffel Tower, B, the Opera House, or C, the Statue of Liberty? To enter, call 0901 29 39 123. Calls cost no more than £1.03 from BT landlines. Calls from other networks may be higher and from mobiles will be considerably more. Or text A, B or C to 88444. Texts cost £1 plus 1 standard network rate message. Red button viewers can enter by pressing their red button now. You can also enter for free at itv.com. Entrants must be 18 or over and lines close at 10 a.m. on the 20th of July 2011. Entries made after closing time will not be counted but may still be charged. Next time, we're cooking up a storm in a British-style Balti house with Naz.
You cannot give a bad curry to an Englishman and get away with it.
We'll hear how football coach Philo settled into life down under.
To be honest, my first impression was one of horror.
And we'll join accountant Lorraine as she ventures into Australia's party capital.
Surface is Blackpool with the sunshine.
A murder investigation barely gets underway before the killer strikes again. Lewis will set the stage next this evening.